Hi everyone. I want to tell you about a really special sweater that's hanging in my closet. Someone gave it to me almost 6 years ago when my son was in pediatric intensive care after attempting suicide. He was 15 years old and it was just a really hard time for our family. My son did pass away from those injuries, but I remember my friend coming to the hospital. Several friends came, not because I asked them to, but because they wanted to be there. And I can remember standing with this friend, and I just mentioned that the hospital was a little bit cold. And she literally took off her sweater, her very nice sweater, and gave it to me. And I said, "Oh, no, seriously, Lori, just take it. I have lots of sweaters." And I know that sounds silly, but I treasure that sweater. I've been through my closet, that was 6 years ago, maybe 3 or 4 times since then, just to purge clothes. You know how you do. And I can't get rid of that beautiful sweater. I still wear it, and I think of the gesture from my friend at one of the lowest and darkest times of my life. When someone passes away, I feel like the best thing you can do for that family member is just to be there. Just be there. If they're cold, bring them a blanket. If they're hungry, bring them some food. If they're crying, sit with them and cry. You don't have to have answers. You don't have to have wisdom. Just sit with them. If the Lord does give you some words of encouragement, then give them. But you don't have to. You know what the worst thing you can do is? To not say anything, to not be there. After my son died, I remember just bits and pieces of little things. But we lived in a small town then. We went to the same eye doctor every year. We went to the same dentist every 6 months and had for years and years, our entire family. And I remember going into the dentist, and it was hard just because my son was always with us. We have a large family, so I was always bringing an entourage every 6 months to the dentist. We knew the dentist pretty well by then. She knew us all by name. And not one mention of my son. To this day, no one in that office ever said anything about him. It was as if he vanished in thin air. And I'm not complaining. I get it that some people just don't know how to handle death, and perhaps they were afraid that it would bring up something in me, bring up a memory, make me think of something. I can assure you, someone who has had a death in their family, it's always just under the surface. You're not going to remind them of something that they've forgotten about. If you bring up the name of their loved one, I can assure you, it will mean the world, even if they shed a tear, because it's always just under the surface. Those tears are always right there, just underneath, waiting to come out. Now let me contrast that with when we went to the eye doctor, when it was time again for all of us to go to the eye doctor. And now I have one less child, and because it was a small town, they knew all about what had happened, just like the dentist office did. But this time, the receptionist saw me getting out of the car, and the moment I opened the door to go into the office, she stood up from her seat behind the desk and said, "Oh, Miss Newman, oh, I'm so glad to see you. And let me just say, I am so sorry about your son." And y'all, it still makes me teary. That someone that I didn't even have a personal relationship with, just a business, type relationship with, would take them a moment to acknowledge even how hard it is just to walk into a simple eye appointment without one of my children was hard. So when someone you love has lost a loved one, say that loved one's name. Acknowledge that person's pain. It is far more painful to pretend that nothing happened, to not bring it up, than it is to just go ahead and take the bull by the horns, meet the emotion, meet the awkwardness by saying, I'm so sorry about your loss. It means the world. It's so beautiful to hear someone say the name of your loved one that passed away. It was 6 years ago. My son was 15, so now all of his friends are in college. Some of them are even already working jobs. Some of them are engaged. Life just keeps going. I do have one mom from my son's old baseball team. He played baseball. And every time I see her, which isn't very often, but every time I see her, she'll look me in the eyes and she'll say, how are you? And I know what she means, and it makes me teary when she does, but I need it. I need it. Even though it's been 6 years, I still need it. So if you know someone's close to you who's lost a loved one, a mom, a dad, a child, it's such a deep loss. Look them in the eye and say, how are you doing? They'll know what you mean. And say their loved one's name. If there's a great memory you have, say it. Hey, I remember when this happened. I remember when that happened. And remember, it was so funny when this happened. That's what this friend does for me. She'll still say, I remember when Daniel ran those bases, or whatever it was, some funny thing that he did. And it just means the world to me. My son is not forgotten. He made a huge dent in the world, just like he did on my heart. Embrace the awkward with someone who's lost a loved one. I promise it will mean so much to them.